amendments on SAPS recruitment policy on tattoos have been put on hold. The policy prevents the hiring of individuals with tattoos. The possible changes allow for the recruitment of those individuals, but the tattoos cannot be visible when they are in police uniform. Minister of Police Begicele likened officers with tattoos to gangsters. Joining us to tell us about the possible implications of these changes is criminologist at the Department of Police Practice at UNISA, Dr. Dumisani Mabunda. Very good afternoon to you. Thank you for your time. Some limitations changed, adjusted, while others remain the same. What do you make of the amendments?
Good afternoon to all the listeners. I'm Dr. Mabunda. Senior lecturer at the police practice at the University of South Africa. I haven't had an opportunity to read the amendment, but I saw it this morning that the minister apparently gazetted something, and it was shortly thereafter withdrawn. But all this is about beefing up the police in South Africa, which is very crucial. I think we are all aware that we are fighting against crime, and every effort that can be made to increase the number of policing or police personnel is welcomed. And I do not believe that looking at the aspect that you raised earlier on of tattoos should be hampering the recruitment process. We need boots on the ground. We need people who are fit and proper. And as we know that we have a constitution in this country which doesn't allow discrimination of any individual based on the various aspects. If that aspect of tattoos is outside of the law, I believe that it will not be acceptable. As long as the criteria that is set by the police is met in its entirety. So in my introduction, that is all I can take at this stage, but we definitely need more police on the ground to deal with the issue of crime that is ravaging the country.
As you speak about tattoos, I mean, we know that now that the amendments have been made, officers are allowed to have tattoos just as long as they're covered by their uniform. What is the significance, or perhaps the association and perceptions around tattoos when it comes to how they are viewed by community members, and just your take around, that amendment being made for the tattoos to be covered?
I don't believe that police officers will go out in the streets brandishing their tattoos. If obviously an officer is wearing a long shirt and the tattoo is on the shoulder or anywhere where it is concealed, no one will even know about it. I do not think that is important at this stage. Let the police organization have a clear criteria as to who should be enlisted in the police, like it has been happening in the past. They had criteria. I don't know if they have moved away from that. If an individual meet all that criteria, they should be qualified to be enlisted in the police.
There's also a debate around the age of recruitment, because as it currently stands in that gazette, new recruits have to be between the ages of 18 and 30 to qualify. But unions are saying that they want it to be increased to at least 35 to align with the definition of youth. Is there any substance to that factor, the age, and of course how that would implement that, what sort of impact that would have on the new recruits being part of the police force?
I think that should be welcomed. one looks at the rate of unemployment in the country, it's so worrying. And also, if you look at experienced people that are sitting in parliament, for example, no one is considering their age. Some of them should be sitting at home, but because of the skill and the quality that they can present to the country, they are doing their work regardless of their age. So I think that age bracket is welcomed so that as a country we can be able to deal with the unemployment of especially our youth, because this is a contributing factor. Our youth are so disgruntled. Some of them have university qualifications and they can't be employed because of various reasons. So if we include them in this opportunity of being enlisted in the police, we will be assisting in terms of reducing the number of unemployment in this country.
Yeah. We heard just this month, in fact, Fani Masemola revealing that the SAPS has lost 8,400 detectives from 26,000 around 2016-2017 to now 17,600 today. When it comes to fields of speciality with the new crop of those who will be joining the police force, how imperative do you think it is to ensure that there is a good division in terms of ratio and balances in the different areas of speciality for the new candidates?
That's a good question. I have this excerpt that you are referring to. It says the SAPS has lost 8,400 detectives from 26,000 in 2016 to 2017 to 17,600. And these are experienced detectives. Obviously, there are various reasons why detectives have left the police. It's either due to retirement or attrition, or sometimes being attracted to private organizations which offers them better salaries and working conditions. We are all aware that our detectives are overworked. One detective carries a lot of dockets, and that compromises on the quality of investigation. That's why when these cases eventually land into courts, most of them, majority of them, are thrown out of the window because of insufficient evidence. And experience comes with age. These detectives that have left the police have been there for many years, and if you get a new detective today from a college, obviously he or she will not be familiar with the environment. So we really need to reconsider this. But the worrying factor after I read that article is that very few police who have left are willing to come back because, for example, they are offered good monies out there, and which the police will have to compare if they are serious about recruiting some of them, like myself. I left the police as an expert, as a fingerprint expert, and I was trained both locally and internationally. So if I was to consider coming back to the SAPS, what is offered to me must be better than what I'm earning right now.
Yeah, fair enough. So with that, when it comes to areas of speciality, do you think there should be a priority that the police should be speaking about, considering their shortages and the increase in crime and how cases are being bungled up in court?
Definitely. I respect the Minister of Higher Education who intends to establish a detective institution that will deal with that speciality. There are pockets of excellence in the police, I must state that, but the pace needs to be increased. And my concern is that it takes time to get a good or quality detective. I indicated that I was a criminalistic expert when I was at the police because the SAPS that time, I was working for the Criminal Record Center. they invested in me and other colleagues like myself. But unfortunately, some of my colleagues were attracted overseas, because when we were going for training overseas, these people would, dangle a carrot, and some of my colleagues wouldn't resist. But I opted to remain in this country, and I'm willing to contribute in terms of research and assisting the police to recruit more experts in specialized fields.
The SAPS is also set on reintroducing the requirement that only South African citizens can qualify as recruits. That itself is also, some people have reacted to it, saying that it's the discrimination against permanent residents is justified, while others have been of a different sentiment. How important is it that that part of the amendments stays as is?
As long as it's within the law. I think the law of the country indicate where and how you can look for expertise from outside. Once you have exhausted everything within the country and you cannot find experts, you do what we call headhunting. That is not prevented. Only if you have done everything you can within and you have found no experts, then you can be able to cross over. But I don't think South Africa is lacking expertise. There are other issues that stands in the way of getting better quality in South Africa. I think once that can be addressed, not only in the police, across the board, if nepotism and corruption can be dealt with, I think we can be able to get better quality officers in South Africa.
Very well. Thank you so much for weighing in on this discussion, Dr. Dumisani Mabunda, criminologist at the Department of Police Practice at UNISA, giving us a sense of the new rules for police in South Africa, giving us his reaction there.